Hey everyone, my name is Ryan. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. Today I'll be talking about a comedy film called One of Them Days. This film was directed by Lamont, which this is his directorial debut, and the film stars SZA and Keke Palmer. What is this film about? Well, it's about two best friends in which they are Alyssa and Drew, and Alyssa's boyfriend accidentally spends all the rent money, and so they have to find extreme ways to try to gather up more money before they're going to be evicted from their apartment. Now, I did see a trailer going into this film, and the trailer looked all right. This is SZA's acting debut, so I didn't really know like how she was going to be as an actress. She is a singer, and the only reason I really even know her is because my son has listened to some of her songs on the radio. I'm definitely not a guy that listens to the radio very often. I stick to Spotify half the time or listen to my vinyls, but I do know a couple of her songs, but I'm not really a fan of her music, to be honest. So going into this movie, I just felt, okay, I was just hoping this was going to be a really funny movie and I was going to have a fun time. Now, from a positive standpoint, I can say that SZA and Keke Palmer, I think they had pretty good chemistry here on screen, and I was kind of surprised because SZA being her first role in an acting type of film here, I just didn't know what to expect, and I thought they really jived well together and worked well together, and I believe that they were actually friends. The jokes here, I would say like the first like maybe 30 to 40 minutes, I was laughing a little bit. I think Katt Williams is the highlight. If you've seen the trailer, you know that he's near this loan office, and some of the jokes that he has when he's actually outside of that loan office is pretty good and pretty funny. And just when they're actually at this office, in the trailer, they show that one of the girls has a really low credit score, and I thought that was pretty funny as well. And so moments like that were pretty funny. The problem though with the trailer is I think that it shows a lot of the jokes that are in the movie, so I knew a lot of them were coming, so it became kind of unfunny at that kind of point. And I felt as the movie was going along, I felt like the jokes were just kind of running off the back, like not really making me laugh too much. My audience, I had probably about 10 people, and I think there were some people that were enjoying the jokes just a little bit more than me. I don't think like the crowd was really laughing out loud for most of this film, but it was working a little bit more for others than it necessarily was for me as the film went along. It's not really a film that really has any really crazy cinematography or anything like that, but it's shot fine. It has some interesting little tidbits here and there. I will say the dialogue really isn't for me. I mean, for other people, they may like this kind of dialogue. I understand they're trying to make it, I guess, like an authentic type of movie as to where they're actually at because they live in the hood technically. But yeah, the dialogue wasn't really working for me in certain parts of the film. You know, it's one of those movies that definitely feels like a 90s type of comedy that came out, years ago, and it's not something that we really get very often. So on that front, I can say it's kind of like original for this time period, and we don't get comedies like this very often. So I do think that some people are really going to enjoy this movie, while others, it's not going to work for them. And I've seen kind of all over the internet where it's very all over the place. There are people that really are loving this movie, then there's other people like me that this movie just doesn't really work. And I feel like for me, it's a movie that you can kind of throw on streaming. There's some laughs here and there, but it's a movie that I won't really remember all that much, and it's a movie that I don't really think it was theater worthy personally, but I understand like it's January and they need to throw something in the theater, so this is the movie that they threw in the theaters, and it's fine on that front. It's about an hour into the film, we kind of switch gears and we go to this guy who's a gangster that's going after these two women. And it's just kind of goofy, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's trying to go that route, but the guy just wasn't really believable, and what was really going through this guy's head and what he was actually doing, I just kind of was like, nah, this is like a little bit too much, like kind of switching the tone of the film, and just a little too late. It just felt like a little out of place, and then we hurry up and we rush to the ending, and I was like, okay, like, I wasn't really the biggest fan of that. And then the fact that we finally get that into about 70 minutes in, when we get into that point, it just kind of threw me off guard a little bit. The soundtrack in this movie is pretty much all rap music, and to be honest, I didn't know any of the songs, and I kind of expected the soundtrack to be that kind of music. The only time I really listen to rap is if my wife is jamming out to it or my son is jamming out to it, so I didn't recognize any of the songs, and like I said, that's exactly what I actually expected the soundtrack to be. Now, from a character perspective, Keke Palmer's character, she works at a diner, she's working hard, and she's trying to get a better job, so I really respected her character and really liked her character, versus SZA's character. She's really stupid, to be honest, the way that she's actually written, because she doesn't have a job, her boyfriend stole their money, and she's just really nonchalant about it. He doesn't love her, he's cheating on her, and the fact that she has no job, and the fact that they could be evicted, and Keke Palmer sitting here as the best friend just working her ass off, while as her other friend is not working, and she's doing like little paintings and stuff but not making money, that would annoy me as a best friend, mainly because, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm working my ass off, and you're sitting there being lazy and not working for no reason. So on that front, like, I couldn't really sympathize with SZA's character. It's like, come on, get a job and help your girlfriend out. Like, seriously, like, I didn't understand that whatsoever. It's just how her character was actually written. For me, I would not put myself in a situation like that, but I completely understand that's just how this movie actually is. But from that standpoint on my thoughts here, I really just think the movie is just kind of meh. I would give a score of this film a 2 out of 5. I think it's one of those films you can throw on streaming, you know, maybe while you're just like doing chores around the house and get a few laughs or something like that. But I just don't think it's a film that I'll really remember. I understand that people really like this film compared to me. It definitely has a higher score on Letterboxd than my score that I'm giving it. And that's great that people are really enjoying it. I'm glad that this is a comedy that people really do like and really are getting a lot of laughs at. But I just think overall for me, it's just kind of a meh film, nothing that I'll rewatch. It wasn't terrible, and it wasn't something where I was just like clawing at my seat wanting to get out of the theater. It was just one of those movies where I was like, meh, it's all right, has a few laughs, and that's just how I felt by the time the film actually wrapped up and ended. But what did you think about One of Them Days? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was okay? Leave any and all comments down below. If you haven't seen it in a theater, are you going to check it out when it comes to streaming or VOD? Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you guys next time.